Hello and welcome to the Quad Life. Well, I have said in previous videos that I like when people comment and ask questions or say things, obviously. Well, in last week's video, that is what happened. That I got a comment from Julie that she is also a independent quadriplegic. And one of the things that she likes or struggles with is finding alone time. So that gave me an idea that is a subject I have not really talked about, at least I remember. So it is today's video. So when you are a high-level quadriplegic such as myself and cannot breathe on my own and do anything except, move my head, waggle my tongue, then you need help for about everything. So as a result, I have 24/7 care, or someone that is around me 24 hours a day, all day, every week, every month, every year, every decade, and so on. Now, for some people, this is familiar to them. As me, it's what I know all the time. And some are great with people. They, don't mind having someone around them at all points. But for those that are newly injured, it takes time to get used to that. Even though for us old, experienced people, it can get a bit wearing. So I like my caregivers, and the one that's trying not to laugh behind the camera here. But there always gets to be a point with someone, whether it's even your spouse or your kids or co-workers, that you want time to just be alone and by yourself to do your own thing. However, when you have to have someone with you or within earshot at all times, that is when it gets to be more of a challenge. So as Julie said last week, that is something that she longs for as a long time. Well, for me, there are a couple ways that I have found, or I guess adapted, to be, quote, alone. So right now I have it that 5 to 6 days a week I have a caregiver here during the day for 10 hours and someone at night for 9 hours. At 10 and 9, that's 19 hours. So therefore, that's another 5 hours a day that is not covered by caregivers for me. Well, that is usually the evenings, and it's just my parents and I. Well, in that situation, then I'm usually here in my bedroom, just by myself with a child monitor so that my parents can hear me. But yet we each get to do our own thing in different parts of the house, at least. So it isn't being completely alone, but you do get to be somewhat by yourself. And it does kind of help. And it's nice not to have someone always with you. Again, as I said, no problems with my caregivers, but it's just sometimes you want to be alone. I mean, yeah, everything that you do, like if I'm playing a game or listening to a podcast or something of that sort, now remember they are hearing it too. But we kind of remember this as a remembrance that God is always watching and hearing what you're doing as well. So if you want to do something that you really don't want others to be hearing because you don't not want them to know what you're doing, well, that's maybe something you shouldn't be doing in the first place then. But another time I have found to quote unquote be alone is in the mornings when I get up or start my morning routine anyway. Then one of the very first things we do is exercises, that my arms and limbs are stretched and moved around. Well, on my part, that doesn't involve anything of me. So yes, it's my body that is being worked on, but it's nothing I can control or have any movement over. So most of the time, I will have my caregiver just leave the sheet over my head, just the same way I sleep at night, and I can get some quote alone time of me under the sheet, and I sometimes doze off, or as Jesus said, when you pray, to go into a closet and commune with just you and God for your personal prayers. Well, that's a good time as well, where it's quiet and I'm not doing anything and I'm somewhat awake. That's a good time to pray for the day coming. And also, again, just to slowly wake up and to have, quote, alone time. So those are some things that I have learned over the years. Also, looking back at the Bible, we see that Jesus had several times that he went alone on a mountain to pray and to be away from disciples and the multitudes, that he could relax and just recoup for everything going on. So that is, harder to do as a quadriplegic, but there are ways you can find to at least somewhat have time to yourself. But of course, you need to do it safely as well. But that's all I have for this week. Not a whole lot going on since the last video. So, as always, thank you for watching. And again, if you have other questions or something, please just comment below and it may be coming on another video. But until then, bye for now.